welcome back to our little group session here. How was everybody's day so far?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Yeah, not bad.
Marcos, you, Kev, I know you're feeling under the weather. Is alright? Brian, how was your day?
It's good, Coach.
Good? Alright. Alright, let's start off with reviewing the guidelines real quick. Today's going to be a little shorter session, and we're going to conclude our three-group session we've done so far. But let's go over the review of the guidelines one more time.
All participants observe confidentiality, counselor and the student. Everyone will be an active listener. Everyone has an opportunity to participate and share. Use positive language, and all participants will treat each other with respect.
Excellent, thank you. Alright. So today what we're going to do is we're going to complete our self-management plans that we were working on last week. And then we're going to review again a little more of those self-management plans, see if there's anywhere we can kind of fine-tune and make it a little bit better for you guys, so you can use that as a tool to keep in your backpack or your school notebook or whatever and access it whenever you're facing any of these stresses. Okay. So let's spend a couple minutes. I want you guys to, I think we did one last week, right?
Yeah.
So let's spend some time now and do two more. Okay. So write down the stressor first, and then just go down in order on your sheets there. Okay. Brian, do you have your sheet from last week?
Yes.
So on stressor, right? One of your stresses was what? French class?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can write that as a stressor. And then maybe we should quickly review some of the positive and negative responses to stress. That way you guys remember how to do the self-management plan. So what were some negative responses to stress that we talked about last week?
We talked about procrastinating. We talked about eating or drinking, not about that.
Anybody else?
So I can remember.
Getting angry?
Yeah.
Okay, getting angry. Getting angry is a negative response to stress, definitely. Brian, you remember any other ones?
Friends, people that are around you that are irritating you.
Okay, so removing, that's
Removing other stresses.
Yeah.
Removing.
So
Changing your situation.
there you go. So changing the situation, good. We talked about procrastinating, eating or drinking too much, also sleeping too much, right? We talked about that last week. One thing we didn't talk about last week that I wanted to mention today, and I wanted to mention it because I know that some of you like to play video games, right?
A lot.
Okay. So playing video games may be fun to do,
Yeah.
but it's really not a healthy way of dealing or coping with stress. Okay, that's actually an unhealthy way. And part of that is because what are you doing when you're playing video games?
Nothing.
You're what? You're zoning out on the screen, right?
You're increasing your awareness, focus.
Okay, you're not trying.
I'm usually
I'm not asking you to try to sell me why playing video games is good. I play video games too. I like playing video games, but zoning out and playing video games for extended periods of time is not good. Okay? It's not a healthy way to manage our stress.
Yeah.
So, as Bryant mentioned, withdrawing from friends, family, or activities, right?
Yeah.
If you're, that's not really a healthy way of dealing with stress. Avoiding people is not a healthy way of dealing with anything. Okay? And then let's review quickly some of the strategies that we came up with, some of the healthy ways to manage stress. Just remember we talked about, you four are basketball players, right? So we talked about getting out and moving, playing basketball, exercising, physically exercising.
Like we already mentioned, changing your situation. Like
Altering the situation was one that we talked about last week. Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No.
Avoiding unnecessary stresses, right? We talked about that. Learning how to say no. It's hard to do sometimes, it's hard to say no. It's hard to say no to coach when he asks you to come and do this film session, but it can be difficult. Also, we talked about adapting to the stressor, so adapting to the stressor. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but we could reframe the problem that we have, right? Look at the bigger picture instead of just, so for example, if we're talking about Kevin's stress in French class, right? Okay, we could look at the bigger overall picture of where that stress is coming from, right? So to alleviate the stress that you have in French class, think about the bigger picture. Think about your overall school and how you can manage all of your classes, not just French class, right? And break it down into pieces at that point. Or the other thing we can do is we can adjust our standards. We can adjust what we expect of ourselves, right? Now, your parents, myself, as a counselor, as a teacher, and a coach, we put a lot of pressure on you boys because we want you guys to mature and become responsible adults, right? But you yourself need to make adjustments as you grow up to what is important to you and what standards you want to live by. Okay, so if you're talking about, like let's say Cole, and the amount of time that he spends in the gym lately, been spending a lot of extra time getting up a lot of extra shots in the gym. Okay? Now that's his choice. He adjusted his schedule and his time and what he does with his free time to do that, right?
Yeah.
Again, that's a way of because avoiding has a very negative undertone. But that's a way of managing stress, right? Is, okay, I'm stressed out because of school, I'm going to go spend a little more time playing basketball. And you have to find that happy balance, where you can still be successful in school and have that free time to do what you want. Right? One of the other strategies, you guys remember any other ones? There's one more that I'm thinking of in particular, and you guys haven't heard the prayer yet. Actually, I'm going to show a video in a little bit. It's a short video that you guys will watch, and I think the end of it has it. But, this other strategy I was thinking of was accept things that you can't change. Right?
Yeah.
It does no good if you've got, say, a girlfriend who says, you know what, I don't want to date you anymore. It does no good to argue and fight over that. If she doesn't want to date you, you can't change that. Right? You gotta accept the fact that she doesn't want to date you anymore. Right? And as sad as that may be at the time, you guys will be okay. And the other one, the last one that we talked about was have fun. Be relaxed. Make a fun activity or make something fun out of the situation you're in. So in French class, try to make it fun any way you can. Now, it's not disrupting class, right? We don't want to be disruptive in our classrooms, but finding ways to make learning French fun, right? And that could be, I think Marcos talked about collaborating with your friends or your peers to do your work together, to help each other out, right? That's one way that could be fun, and you're getting your work done at the same time. All right. So right now, what I want you guys to do is write out finish the self-management plans. Okay, take a couple minutes to do that.
One answer question today, and then one phrase every day.
I just said I'm gonna do my homework. I'm gonna play some video games, and then.
So what you gotta do, you gotta do all your homework, and then like make a time for when you finish your homework, and then you play video games until like 11.
No, they don't play that late.
Plan 12.
He goes to sleep at 9. I do.
Well, I didn't even ask this of you guys, but I like that you guys are collaborating on ways that you can help each other
I need to get my
deal with
grades
the
up.
stress that someone else is in. You need to what?
He's like, I need to get my grades up.
Even though you need to get your grades
Go
up,
outside and ball.
it doesn't help getting stressed out about it.
I'm just worried about going to summer school and like not playing basketball next semester.
You gotta start working
Cause
on
I'm
it.
trying. Every time I get to a 1.8, I go straight back to 1.5.
Dude, maybe you should just like do your homework.
I can't do your homework.
Then you
It's
should
not
do
that. It's
something
that
else.
it's like
You need to stay consistent.
What you say on the physics test?
Alright, you guys.
So,
get
dude,
to-
I
you got
talked to
your-
Mr. Sugar about that. He said I can
You're ready to
Wait
go
for these
now.
plans, dude.
You guys got it done yet?
Why is it not effective? Bad grades.
Is it still recording?
It is. But you guys are gonna watch a video on there while it's recording. You watch it.
Positive. Worse.
Are we gonna be like,
I gotta fill in some time in this one because I didn't put together a lot. Like the last time we met was a little bit longer. And
stressed?
even after editing, I still had 24 minutes. It's supposed to be 15 minutes.
Stress me.
This time I put a lot less than what we were gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like I'm probably gonna have to stretch that.
I don't know.
What
What is
is it
it?
for
Test?
Like that clip of Marcos just
Study
helping
being
him move going for sure. That was
Being
good.
prepared. Marco. Something I don't
Just
know.
say go outside and take a break, you know? Just split it up.
So
I'm
calm.
not.
I
I'm just trying
think
to.
I asked you last week, right?
Yeah.
What yours was, but I didn't ask the rest of the group.
I said mine was test.
You should ask them again. I use test.
Ask
this
me,
time.
because I have homework session again. I'll use big vocabulary.
Large vocabulary.
Right.
What do you know?
Physics gigantic. We can do this all day.
What do you
Extremely
know?
gigantic. I know that didn't work.
What's a double-
I know you got
What's a double positive?
That's its name.
Redundant.
Hey, yo,
What do you know on the French paper?
7.
the paper?
Fail.
What paper?
The French.
Oh, the
It's a
thing.
fun thing.
The French
That's
physics?
no, dude.
Wait, did I say French?
Yeah.
I'm in physics.
What was yours on?
Dude, he still hasn't graded it.
He graded mine.
Dude, he hasn't graded. It's been like
Mine was
5
distance.
days.
Why did you do this?
He said it was gonna be done
Because
2
there's
days
some,
ago.
I don't know, something dumb that I already know about.
Oh, you should have done dunking. It's literally like the physics of jumping.
No,
That
I
was it.
did.
And then I just showed 5 minutes of Harrison Barnes dunking.
I
I
did.
was
I
like,
did shooting basketball.
yeah.
So I literally have Steph Curry
What
when he
grade you get
shot.
on it?
Huh? What grade on that? Because it was like, it wasn't even that hard. It was like, it's literally, it was just videos of the Warriors dunking for like 5
I
minutes.
have Steph Curry shooting 3 for like 5 minutes.
Exactly. That's so much fun.
Yeah, but he said you had to talk through it.
Yeah, I did. I was like, and here's Newton's third law of motion, reaction, reaction. As he pushes down
Yeah,
the
exactly.
floor, pushes down back on him, he goes up
See,
the
that's the
end.
thing. I
Push
forgot
on the
what
ball,
my
ball
paper
push
even
on.
about.
Huh?
I forgot what even.
Well, that's why you read
You
it.
can go and reread your paper that you wrote.
And I'm
You know the
horrible at
egg drop?
talking in front of
Remember you guys in the egg drop?
No,
Part. You
I
got
might-
you have
That's
to-
also
I put an egg and it probably just dropped it and wrote the essay.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
There
no,
are-
no, I had
there
my
are
essay
ways to
pre-written.
deal with that
And
then
specific
I
type
had
of
this, like,
stress.
Yes.
I had this really good one, but I had my essay pre-written.
And I guess you studied
Alright, Brian, you ready?
Parachute kind of thing.
Alright guys, so let's refocus now. You guys have finished your self-management plans. Okay. How do you guys feel about those? You feel like they may be useful moving forward?
Yeah?
Let's talk. Let's get a couple more examples, just so the rest of the group can hear from. We'll just do one of you. Okay, so give me one more example of a stressor, and let's go down the list of things that we talked about: negative responses, positive responses to it, and how you're going to manage that stressor.
I said homework because it can kind of get like if you got a lot of it, it's kind of seems like it's too much. And I said if I like just don't do it, then my grade's gonna go down, which is gonna eventually make me more stressed. And then it's the positive response. It's time management. Now I gotta manage my time a little better. I think I gotta maybe set up a plan where I can do this amount of homework this night, and if it's not due the next day, I can do the other homework then. Take a break maybe. Like go outside would be a stress management technique, and it would be effective because it would just relieve some of my stress of school. You know, and make me feel like I did something, I accomplished something. So.
Sure, sure. So what I hear you saying is, homework stresses you out, right? And I can imagine that if you guys, if we're in school all day, and you're around academics all day, and then you go home and you do your homework, it's just like school continuing on. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
That's
so
what
you
homework's
need sometimes I think one of the things, well, it's not dumb, it's educating.
It's educating,
right?
but
But it can be repetitive and tedious sometimes. I can understand that. I can see that. But you have to understand, and this is one of those times where you could look at the bigger picture, right? Like, man, I don't want to do this homework assignment, but I know if I do it, I'm going to get a good grade, and then my grade in the class is going to be better, and so on.
Like a reward for it.
yeah, your reward for doing your homework is getting good grades, right? So, and the other thing I heard you mention was, I think Cole said something about taking a break. You said something about maybe going outside. So I think that's a really good stress management technique, is if you guys are sitting there doing your homework, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm done with it, but you still have more work to do, then you could take a break, go get a snack, or go step outside, or go on a jog, or go shoot 50 free throws and then come back in, right? I mean, that's what Coach would have done back in the day. So, I mean, these are, again, I think that's good. You've listed your negative, positive responses and ways that you're going to be able to manage that. All right, so I'm going to collect the self-management plan, so let's stack them all together and then we'll collect those. While you guys are passing those in, we are going to watch a short 3.5-minute video. Okay, the 3.5-minute video.
I have to get this on.
The 3.5, guys.
Yes.
The 3.5-minute video is again on more stress management techniques. It should be a somewhat interesting video. I thought it was interesting. And then I'm going to leave you guys, when we conclude today, I'm going to leave you with another handout that I want you to keep with your stress management plans that we've created, just to help you out. Just they're bullet points on ways to cope with stress. Okay. All right, so we'll put on the film. All right, so what'd you guys think of the video?
It was
Different.
true.
Okay, so it was true. So she took a little bit of a different approach, right? She said instead of when that professor that the guy was talking about in the video showed the glass of water to the class, it wasn't a matter of it being half empty or half full. What was she talking about?
The weight of it.
The weight of it, right? It's the same with almost anything, right? If I have these sunglasses in my hand right now, they're not heavy, right? I could hold them here, it's no problem, it doesn't hurt, right? But as time goes on, if I'm holding the glasses here, after a while, my arm's going to start to ache, right? So it's kind of like a stressor, in that if you have something that's stressing you out in your life, right? And you don't do anything about it, what's going to happen?
It's gonna stress you out even more.
Well, to start off, right, it's not, you're going to try to forget about it, right? I think that's everybody's kind of natural reaction to things that stress them out is, I don't want to be stressed out, I'm going to push it aside for right now. Put it on the back burner, right?
How'd you fall? That was special.
Alright, that was very special.
I know that's getting edited out.
So you put it on the back burner and you forget about it. But then what happens? If you don't deal with that stressful situation,
It's gonna become
What
more stressful.
it becomes more stressful. Just like the longer I hold these glasses out, the heavier they get, right? So,
You're bullying me, coach.
all right, no bullying. That's part of the guidelines.
I don't
Alright.
feel comfortable.
So, when we have stresses in our lives, we don't want to let them linger around. We don't want to let them just be there and us not tackle it or handle the issue. Right? So, moving forward, and I'm going to give you guys a couple handout now that's a positive ways to cope with stress. Okay, I want you to keep this with your self-management plan. All right, keep it in your school notebook, so it's always in your backpack when you come to school.
Thank you, coach.
And if anything is at school that is stressing you out, this can be something you can just take a quick glimpse at. Right?
You
To
feel
help
really
you guys
good.
out. Okay, and then also. Let's quickly just go over this real quick. So positive ways to cope with stress. How
Make
about-
healthy choices.
Thank you, Brian. Kevin.
Get support.
Good.
Understand your feelings.
Find a way to relax.
Take action when you can.
Where are you?
Keep a sense of humor.
Oh.
Take action when you can.
Resolve or eliminate the source of stress.
Identify how to prevent stress in the future.
Alright, so all of these are ones that we talked about in the last session and in this session, but it's just giving it to you in a kind of abbreviated, quick, you can glimpse at it without having to read a bunch of words around it, right? Okay, so what I want you guys to do moving forward is, if you're ever in a stressful situation, take these out, use them. They are like a tool. It's a tool in your tool bag of life, right? That you can use on a daily basis or weekly basis to help you kind of manage the stresses in your life, because as we all know, the more stressed out we get, the less successful we're going to be at doing what we want to do. Okay? All right. I appreciate you guys being here, and thank you very much for spending the time with me. You guys did.